Oh, shit.
Yo. I just looked at my fantasy football thing for the first time in a week, and it feels good to be in the winner's circle again. So
been a while.
Yeah.
Birdman hand rub. Let's go.
Wait, Jamal. We have the same record. So what are you talking about?
What? What's the head-to-head record?
Right
Here
now,
we go.
1-0. But did you win a ring yet? I'm just trying to understand. But yeah.
Well, at least I'm the only one that could say I got my dub in basketball and football.
I did.
5-2.
Talking about? What are you
5-2. Well, I'm the leader. 5-2.
Yeah, that's true.
1-0.
All right, Seppi, how'd you do week 7?
Oh, football? Yeah, I'm about to quit. I'm about to do a fire sale to everybody.
Oh, no fire sale.
Oh, I gave points. It's crazy because this is the first time they projected me to score over 140 points, and I missed that mark completely. And I'm like, son, what? Like,
I was telling the guys, I was telling my homeboys from like my other chat and you guys that I was in Atlanta partying and whatnot, and in the Uber, like I was listening to the Kansas City, Tennessee game, and all I hear, Derrick Henry throws for a touchdown. Oh, what? Oh, the home, possible concussion. What? Oh, 27-3 final. Oh, that's how we looking.
Yeah, and he wasn't playing good before that concussion anyway, so.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get garbage time of Mahomes like some Jalen Hurts. But
no, who got Jalen Hurts? Who got Jalen Hurts? The most consistent fantasy QB there is.
Yeah, garbage time Hurts.
Yeah, Black Tim Tebow.
Nickname Garbage Man. Sanitation Boys.
It works.
Sanitation Boys. Wow. That's fake. But anywho, how's everybody doing? What we at? This is episode what?
It's episode something at this point.
I want to say 6 or 7, but we just going at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we started talking about football, so we might as well get into our takes about week 7, because honestly, oh man, fantasy wise, this is unpredictable. I could not believe the Giants beat the Panthers 25-3. I just needed Hubbard to just do 100 yards, and on paper, it looked possible. And I'm watching the game, and I'm like, Sam Darnold cannot be this bad.
But he is.
He really is.
What is going on?
Seeing ghosts.
And then I'm looking at Robbie Anderson. I'm like, boy, what? You have 2 left hands? You can't catch a ball?
Butter rolls.
But the crazy part, and I forgot who brought this up, but it's really Christian McCaffrey, because when he was there, Darnold was actually looking confident because he was taking so much of the attention away. Like, all right, DJ Moore,
you had your safety blanket. Yeah,
DJ Moore, slide. Robbie Anderson still wasn't cooking, but he had DJ Moore, and he had Christian McCaffrey to bail him out. Now, and I don't know, when is Christian McCaffrey coming back off of IR?
Probably another 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks.
2 weeks too late.
No golden parachute. Sorry.
Jamal, you seem to feel strongly about it. What was the most interesting thing outside of the Panthers that caught your eye in week 7?
The Titans. I mean, I expected that to be game of the week, but I mean, the Chiefs got slapped. They got played like they weren't prepared for that type of a fight. And it's not like to say anybody was injured necessarily, that they were playing without him. They had Tyreek Hill, they had Kelsey, Mahomes, obviously. So it should have been fair ground, but Titans didn't agree with me. So they slapped them up. Personally, I think they're gonna have to do something. I don't know how you shake it up this late. I mean, the Chiefs play the Giants this week, so maybe that's a healthy game. But
I don't know.
I don't know either. Normally it might be, but I don't know either.
Yeah, but like their defense, like even that Sunday when they played the Bills, I already knew like they weren't gonna give it up because they suck against mobile QBs. And if you have a respectful run game like the Titans did, it opens up the pass that much more. And then Ryan Tannehill had himself a game.
Ryan Tannehill had like 11 straight completions.
Yeah,
some shit like that. Like he wasn't playing like him. He wasn't playing like himself. That didn't help either.
Chiefs been vulnerable this season. Like OD vulnerable. Like their defense was never nothing to write home about, but the offense. It's like enough. Like the offense will carry you enough for the defense to make a couple plays to put it out of put the game away or whatever. But now the offense is struggling to just put the defense on a spot to actually make more than just pick here to end the game or whatever. And you know how it is, Jamal, too. Like the league eventually catches up to you.
Yeah. Plus, people are tired of hearing about them.
Yeah, it's like
hearing about them. So they want to fight them the best that they can. So they're gonna try to kick them while they're down.
So it's the Warriors effect.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. It's literally the Warriors. People were tired of hearing about the Warriors, so you used to see little elbows, little knees, little Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it wasn't, absolutely. But people got tired of hearing about them. It's the Chiefs are going to walk into the Super Bowl this year. The Warriors are going to walk back to the finals this year. Like, I mean, it was probably going to happen, but
football's a little, football's a little more.
They don't want to hear that shit. Football is a much more prideful sport. They don't want to hear that. They're going to walk back to the Super Bowl. Okay, well, 27-3. What's up?
What's their record right now?
Atrocious.
3-4, 2-5.
For their standards.
2-5.
It's 3-4.
3-4
right now.
What are the 3 games they won? What are the 3 games that they won?
Good question. I think they beat the Broncos.
They beat the Washington football team.
Trash.
That was their latest win. Okay.
Trash. I think they beat the Broncos.
And honestly, I don't think they beat anybody was like,
the Jets? I forget.
Yeah, they lost.
Not anybody prolific. Not anybody prolific.
Yeah, they lost.
All of the big games they lost. Yeah, all the big games they lost.
And they shouldn't have lost to the Ravens.
The Bills,
Chargers
Titans this week, Chargers. Yeah, all of the big games they lost. That's their 4 losses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Future playoff teams.
So they have a tough schedule starting.
It could be that. Yeah, later in the year you get more wins. Could be that.
But if you're the Super Bowl favorite, you're supposed to take care of business, though.
Man, we just get wild card.
You'll be in the playoffs, though, and that's all you need.
You're Giants,
right. You never know.
Giants.
Absolutely. 9-7 took it 1 year, so I mean, shit. Maybe 10-7 takes it this year. Who knows?
So I was checking something, and I want you guys' opinion on it. But I think because I'm actually coming to New York on Friday, but I'll be playing DFS, for Thursday night football game. How do you guys feel about the Packers-Cardinals game?
That's gonna be a cute game, a real cute game. I'm not starting Green Bay's defense.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, they lost their star QB, Green Bay, so I seriously doubt they're stopping.
You said they lost their star QB?
I mean,
Steve, cornerback.
Yeah, cornerback.
No, CB.
Oh, okay.
Who was it? Jair Alexander?
Jair.
Yeah, Alexander. And I don't see them doing much against the Vikings with those wide receivers.
No, the Cardinals. They play the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
On Thursday
night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see them doing much. And also, too, they lost Devontae Adams, Lazard.
COVID.
Lazard.
Wait. Never mind. I thought they had Devontae.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, nah. Yeah, their number one and number two aren't playing. So it's going to be...
Quizzy from the... All right, so moving on.
I mean, nah, you just never know. Don't put it out.
Don't
They
get
still
crazy.
They still got
Randall Cobb, Aaron Jones, but it's not looking too great. I mean, if they pull that out,
is it
guys on the Cardinals?
Is it in Green Bay?
Oh, those not.
No, it's in Arizona.
That may bode well for Aaron Rodgers too, because you know they love playing out there. We gonna let it fly.
Yeah, it could be.
But
and I think they might get back Valdez Scantling this week, maybe.
I think a sneaky game is the Titans and Colts. I don't know why, but just the way Jonathan Taylor,
Carson Wentz has been playing good.
Exactly.
Carson Wentz
he's been playing good.
I think
doing it well.
I'm gonna pass it back to you, Seppi. I think, given the fact that was it this year where he hurt both of his ankles in the same game or something like that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think he's been hearing like, "Oh, you fragile, you stink."
He is.
Prior to I guess Nick Foles winning that Super Bowl for that 16th season in the 17, like the calendar year 2017 against the Patriots. That was a season where he had to push for MVP and then he got hurt. So I think he's revitalized. He has a head coach that trusts him. Like they gave him the keys to the offense. I think like he's been unlocked. So honestly, I think that's going to be one of the sneakier games of Week 8. And then we all know Derrick Henry. He's like the dark horse for MVP as a running back, which is crazy.
Most definitely.
Which is normally goes to QBs and such. So the fact that you have that, and is Julio gonna play that game? I know AJ was
he's good.
Okay. And AJ Brown finally did something.
Yeah, he wilded out last week.
He finally did something after dropping passes all the time. But anywho, I think it sets up to be like a really good game. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it because obviously I'm not a hardcore football fan. I play for fantasy purposes and such like that. But as far as love of the game, I bow to your guys' superior expertise on that. So what do you guys think?
I think there's not that many games there's not many games this week to really say I'm going to be tuning in with popcorn or whatever. But the Packers and Cardinals is one, and I do agree the Titans and Colts may be really sneaky, especially as playing in Indianapolis. Titans on a bit of a roll since they lost to the Jets. So, Tannehill, people say Derrick Henry got the hot feet. Tannehill kind of getting a high hand lately, and the defenses, they're not playing like 85 Bears defense, but they making plays in the right spot. And like giving a team a chance to, especially giving Derrick Henry a chance to say, "Oh, I'm about to blow this open with my legs and my upper body strength." So I agree, but at the same time, there's not really any other games that I can see on this state.
but I'm sorry. Before I pass it to Seppi, the reason I said it's sneaky is because I feel it could be a trap game for the Titans due to the fact that, like you mentioned, they've been playing well. They just got a big win over the Chiefs, and they're riding.
They're smelling themselves,
Exactly, and then you have the Colts, who's low key have been, starting to.
They know the Colts though. It's not like they going across to another different conference. And they don't know the team.
Carson Wentz yet, though.
But I'm saying they know the Colts. I'm not saying they're gonna know the Colts offense. I'm like they're not gonna look at it. It's like when the Giants play the Eagles. Even the Eagles be playing trash. We know. All right, let's strap up and play for real against these bums because it's a divisional game. You just never know. You want to pay attention. Like it's different if you were to say, all right, we're going to go play. What's it? We're gonna go play the Vikings randomly. We don't see when the last time we seen the Vikings. We're not really worried about them. Boom, trap game done. This I'm not really gonna say it's a trap game per se, but like I said, I think it's gonna be a closer game than what people think.
Okay, Seppi, what do you think?
I think the Colts are onto something because I noticed that they could have played T.Y. in the last game, but they chose to sit him out. And given the fact that they're in the same division, I think they would just hold it down on T.Y. to be like, we're going to use you for next week. Because we're going to need you for these Titans. And I think that's what they was trying to do. And honestly, this is going to be a good game. I really want to tune into this because I actually like Michael Pittman. I actually like what the Colts have. I've been watching their games, and like their defense is coming alive, and Carson Wentz is coming alive too. But also, I don't know how Titans are playing this middle of the road defense when I
exactly. How long is that gonna last?
Yeah, when I watch their entire defense get hit with injuries, but it'll be interesting. Another game that I'm looking forward to also is I just had it right here.
Patriots Chargers.
On the Buccaneers versus the Saints. That could be good.
I mean, if you're going to give the divisional argument for that one, you got to say it for this one.
Yeah, but it's different. Well, I look at it different because I feel like the Tom Brady. Well, all right. Matter of fact, he does have a finger injury, right?
Yeah. Tom Brady does have a finger injury.
If the finger injury flares up, because at one point in the game this week that just passed, he had like the most consecutive incompletions in his entire career. I think he missed like 7-8 passes in a row or some nonsense like that.
I mean, yeah, but they were at Soldier Field.
Yeah, and they in New Orleans in this game, so I can see what you're saying, but I'm not saying Jameis Winston gonna air it out over Tom Brady. He gonna air it out. He's a gunslinger. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't think he's gonna air it out. If then there's rumors that Gronk might be coming back too. So I like the little Patriots and Chargers game too. Not really gonna be interesting. It's a cute little game, and it's when you cross country to go play these games, you end up playing a little shaky. So you're coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, got that jet lag.
But you're coming off a bye week though.
So Jamal, who's your game of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be the Saints and the Bucks, but like just based off of record, not so much like what I think the quality of the game is going to be necessarily. It could be pretty good because just like I was alluding to earlier with the Chiefs, people being tired of hearing about them, people are definitely tired of hearing about the Bucks. So they might say, F it. We're trying to put 50 on you.
Is AB playing?
He's questionable. I mean, it's possible, but if they get Gronk back, they might tell him like the rest another week or vice versa. So, but I mean, even without him, say put up 38 points last week. So,
yeah,
you tell both of them to sit out for another week, get more rest. But and the Saints defense it's not what it used to be.
What you mean, son? Eli Apple, son.
He's fooled. Lattimore is fooled.
I mean, to be honest, Lattimore can't be fooled because to be honest, what's his name? Metcalf only got one good catch that whole game.
That's due to, let's be fair, that's due to the quarterback. That's due to the quarterback. If that was Russell Wilson, that game would have went different. But,
yeah.
We got Gino's Pizza. So, that's what it is.
Disparaging remarks.
No.
So, you got Tom Brady this week.
Gino's Pizza. It's also disrespectful, man. That's crazy.
Hey, my question is, hold on. Why they got the Giants and the Chiefs playing Monday night? Like, who scheduled that?
Everybody has to get a Monday night game. Everybody.
Yeah.
So,
but that's
everybody has to get. Well, I mean, they put it so like pretty much it's an interesting game because if you're not going to watch for one team, you're going to watch for the other. So you're going to at least watch, especially with how the teams are playing. They're only one game separate.
That shit stink, don't it? That's the face I got about that game. But if we win, I'd be happy. So.
I mean,
I think
don't get it mixed up.
Either way, I think you'll be happy either way.
It's right now, as far as the records go, it's a fair trade. 3-4 and 2-5. So
yeah. But to Malcolm's point, I don't think people were expecting that. Coming.
Of course not. So now what you have?
That's why you play the game. That's why you play the game.
Is people are going to tune in to watch the train wreck, or the Chiefs going to go to another loss, or the Giants going to win, or the Giants going to get blown up by 60. So.
But real quick to throw to throw the shameless plug in. I know we didn't say it in the beginning, but if you're watching, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. It helps our traction, and we're trying to grow this thing, man. It's a bunch of friends trying to, have fun, talk about sports and relate. All those content that you see, from whether it's YouTube, whether it's ESPN, Fox Sports, whatever the case may be, they have their own flavor to it. We're trying to bring our own flavor to the table. So please like, comment, subscribe, recommend us to your friends. It really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. So, but without further ado,
enough said.
What else is on the agenda?
We can jump into basketball real quick. I mean,
let's get it.
We've seen a small sample size.
Game.
I'm gonna just quick fire what I think is looking good right now for me.
No, yeah, because you doing good in fantasy. So
yeah, I mean, I ain't saying I'm looking.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You smoking niggas right now.
Everybody here 1 week 1, so.
Yeah,
you're right.
Something's got to give soon, though.
Well, that is very true. But it looks like our league is a very, very, very afraid to trade, from what I'm seeing.
Nobody want to pull that trigger because they feel like they getting swindled. Finesse.
Well, that's a lie. Because Pepe and I traded, and it's more about like, yo,
me and Michael traded.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more of like, I'm not gonna let you lowball me.
We're more seasoned though.
Yeah, that is true.
But didn't a couple of them play like Bill?
Big boy.
A couple of them.
There's big boy league, sir. There's big boy league.
Heard it.
There's definitely a difference.
What Bill tried to slide me? Bill tried to slide me that. What is it?
Middleton?
Chris Middleton in the bag of fries? Nah, son. Come on, son. For KD? Quiet. Quiet.
He gave me the same trade for Sabonis. I was like...
Tried to give me Schroeder back after I let Schroeder go.
Oh, man. That's not funny. But, speaking of Sabonis, I'm going to get him before the season's over. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Mm.
But anywho, moving on. What's the biggest surprise you say, given, the NBA season started, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week, Tuesday, right? So what's the biggest surprise in your opinion to start the season?
I want to start it off.
I'll go.
I got the Bulls going 4-0. I wasn't expecting that to happen, to be honest. I mean, if I'm looking at who they faced thus far, they beat Toronto, which doesn't have their best player, Siakam. So I can't really say that was like... And yeah, they haven't really faced anybody where I was just like, oh, wow, that's a team that honestly impresses me. But I mean, right now they're looking pretty good. I like how the chemistry is, even just like Caruso coming off the bench. Like I feel like the Lakers miss Caruso because honestly, Caruso's playing some amazing basketball off the bench. Getting the blocks, getting the steals. I think that's a presence that's felt. Hornets, I'm actually surprised too. They're 3-1, and they beat the Nets. So
lies.
I don't know what this is, but because they didn't even beat them with Melo on the court. They had Smith and
911 Kyrie. 911 Kyrie.
So that was a shocker there. And yeah, I mean, with the West, it's the usual suspects. Like I didn't expect Golden State Warriors to get off to a hot start neither. And they had a tough little schedule at the beginning.
Steph for MVP.
I actually endorse that, but I'm gonna let Steffi finish.
But for the most part, those are my hot takes right now. Yeah, I'm just surprised at the ease of how it's shaping up. But anything could change in the next 5 games or so.
Oh, absolutely. Malcolm, you want to take a stab at it?
I don't really have any crazy surprises. More so, instead of a whole chicken, I got little chicken nuggets. The surprise is all right, I agree with Seppi with the Bulls going 4-0, but that comes with the caveat of
the quality of opponent. Yeah.
Yeah. Then also with the Hornets, I'm more surprised about how the Hornets are playing. Like LaMelo looking like he been here for 4 or 5 years.
Crazy.
That's gonna fall off. I guarantee you that he's not gonna keep that up all season. But it's putting them in the driver's. It's putting them in the driver's seat to say, let's rack up wins early, so we can have a little wiggle room when we eventually gonna hit that dry spell. I'm not really surprised about the Lakers. Like, it is what it is at this point. The Warriors, it's like I'm 50-50. Like, I knew Steph was gonna come out and be Steph because it is what it is. But Jordan Poole been playing good. The League have been playing good. Iguodala coming back to the squad, adding depth and adding veteran presence. And Draymond kind of back to like feeling comfortable with Clay on the horizon.
Clay.
And I forgot that James Wiseman on the horizon as well.
Sneaky team.
Top 6, top 7. No play-ins this year, right? Warriors
top 6. I think Warriors gonna be a top 3 seed this season.
Whoa. Okay.
I feel that way. Like, it's looking like how they looked in 2014, 2015, 2016 versus the KD.
Somebody
experiment.
archive this one. We're gonna have to come back to this one.
And lastly, my last few nuggets is I expected the Nets to struggle, but I didn't expect them to struggle this much defensively. But then, like, as I think about it, we don't really have Nick Claxton is kind of like pissing me off. Like, you got the attributes, bro.
He's young.
Like, I hate when I see players with attributes that just do stupid stuff. Like,
he's young. He's still a kid.
So, and I'm also surprised about how, like, there's really nobody that has the upper hand. Oh, the Knicks. I'm surprised at how well the Knicks playing. I think that's probably like my biggest surprise. The Knicks. I thought the Knicks were kind of a fluke playoff team last year. Like, one and dones, but nah, they look like they found a rhythm. They finally got the point guard that they needed. I mean, Rose was doing well, but they finally got the point guard. Those are my surprises of week 1.
Okay, Jamal, what do you got? Where do you want me to go?
Well, since I was gonna go with the Bulls and Sebi did that already, I'm gonna individualize and I'm gonna talk about Evan Mobley.
Cute. Yeah.
I did mention in the preseason that he was gonna be good. Good.
Who drafted him?
Averaging. Nobody drafted him, but I made sure after game 1 I picked him up. Definitely picked him up. But yeah, he's averaging 15, 6 and 3, and he's got at least a block in every game. Like he came in immediately and pretty much like found a place off of the bench, but solidified a spot that he was supposed to play in, and that he's being efficient in. Kevin Love is actually playing good too. So, along with Jared Allen, they got a little unit going.
How long that's going to keep up?
I mean, yes, you could say that. That's fair, but they kind of had that last year too. And they had time to grow with each other. Like, this was before Jared Allen came over. They had time to acclimate him, and now Mobley seems to like fit perfectly into the puzzle. So, yeah, we can see that. I mean, they're probably going to be 8, 9, somewhere down there. But yeah, I mean, shit. All you got to do is make it to the playoffs.
I feel you.
You get a playing game, and you sneak somebody. Who knows?
I can see that. I have a couple takeaways. So, first things first. Don't see Heat. None of y'all do.
They play good.
I knew that's where we were going. That's why I didn't use it. I was about to run that.
Yeah.
I also saw most of the Pacers, but anywho, continue.
Playing good too as well.
With Sabonis and Brogdon, they like that. I think that's one of the more underrated tandems in the East, Sabonis and Brogdon connection. So, shout out to Pacers on that. I'll give y'all a little sprinkle of props, because y'all deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say y'all because Sabiat's the bonus. And again, I'm going to take the bonus before the fantasy season is over. So, but back to all joking aside. The Knicks, I see them as pretenders. The reason I say I see them as pretenders is because I liken them to the Chicago Bulls of the 2010, 2011, those seasons, because they had the same point guard, same head coach, obviously different, it was a different Derrick Rose than we're overseeing now. But I think what they experienced in the first round against the Hawks, it was the first round, right? Or the second round? It was the first round. It was the first round against the Hawks, and they were a little starstruck, especially Julius Randle, all the shots he was making in the regular season. I'm talking about last season. He wasn't the same player, all right? Because they were keying in on him, forcing him to beat them from the perimeter. And I think, and I've always said this is a tale of all this time, even going back to our days in freedom when we were talking about, Kobe versus LeBron, so on and so forth. One thing you could see is that in the regular season, it's harder for teams to key in on the main pieces of the players of the teams that they play, because throughout the course of 82 games, it's like, all right, we got this opponent today, we got this opponent 2 days from now, and so on and so forth. It's very hard compared to in the playoffs where it's a week, 2 weeks, you're consistent game plan. Like, all right, these are your tendencies. This is what we're going to take away. This is, so on and so forth. And I think the mental side of them, the Knicks are like a couple of years away from seriously being contenders, in my opinion. But as of right now, I can't really see them, if that get past the second round, if they make it that far. So, I think they're going to make the playoffs, of course, because they're going to have a great regular season. But when it comes to the playoffs, we're going to see somewhat similar to what we saw last year. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the Sixers situation with Ben Simmons. The Sixers, they almost beat the Nets. And granted, the Nets didn't have Kyrie, which is another situation as well. But then Aldridge took over that game in the fourth.
And I got KD and Aldridge.
We know you're happy.
Slide that one day.
Yeah. But, I kind of expected it because as much shit as we give Ben Simmons for his offense, he's a top 2-3 defense, and I think we can all agree, especially how the NBA plays now, he's very invaluable to that team on the defensive side, and I think they're missing his presence. Him, Tybal, and just being able to switch on the perimeter,
and to stop penetration.
Exactly, and they actually made Trae Young miserable throughout that 7-game series. He still got his, but he was very inefficient. Exactly. And they're missing that grit on the defensive side. So as much crap as we give Ben Simmons on offense, and he deserves it, because you cannot pass that the ball. But like I said, I expected the whole Kyrie situation is weighing on the team. So you can tell they're trying to get past it, put it behind them in the rearview mirror. But it's still like the elephant in the room, because the way that the team is constructed, they're very top heavy. They gave up a lot to get Harden last season, and I said this, they gave up depth. They gave up Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Torian Prince, and I think they gave up some picks, and they gave up
Cheeks. We gave our Cheeks away.
Yeah. For Harden, and Harden, he wasn't even healthy in the playoffs. He couldn't even help KD.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention as well the rules, the NBA rules.
I was just going to say that. I was looking at you and seeing if you were going to go there. Yeah.
I was going to segue, but since we're here,
it's touching Harden's stats. It is.
Not even just Harden. I mean, it's affecting Harden probably more than anybody else right now. But
that was his bread and butter.
The entire league, I'm watching games with. I mean, it's not looking like 80s, 90s basketball or early 2000s basketball, but it's looking like, nah, you're not going to get that. When I was watching, as of recording, the Knicks and the Sixers is playing, and Embiid looked like he kind of getting fouled, and they ain't really calling it. I'm like, I like, me personally, I like tough ball.
I like it. I respect it.
Like, I think this is the least amount of free throws teams have averaged at the start of a season. So, I mean, I don't mind it. Harden's just gonna have to. He's gonna figure it out. You're too good of a player to not figure it out. I mean, I'm not gonna be like everybody's gonna get carried away and say, "Oh, see, this is Harden's game. This is 98% of his game." Like, nah. I think he kind of got comfortable and rest on it. Yeah, of like, oh, I'm gonna get this call, so let me be lazy. And he hasn't been as aggressive as I want him to be, but he always out of shape in the beginning of the seasons, like the last few seasons. I don't know.
Himself back,
yeah. I don't know what. I don't know how. Anyway, y'all can take over from there.
I was just about to touch on that.
No. You already went, I think. You can go, man.
I was gonna say that's a valid point. Like, I was looking at that, and players like Trae Young and Steph and Harden, you've seen a couple plays during their games where it was like they looked at the refs like, what's going on? And it didn't click to them yet that this is how we're calling the game now. We're not giving that to you anymore. So it really has to be something convincing where they blow the whistle and you get to go to the line. So everybody's going to kind of have to take a step back and get on the same page about it. And overtime they will, but right now it's kind of throwing them off a little bit.
I'm sorry. I saw his stats. I saw his stats. But Jamal, you finished?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I definitely see like it's hurting Harden's numbers. Like I think he only had 15 points the last game or something crazy like that. Like
definitely Luka's numbers. I don't know what he's doing.
Luka as well. Yeah, it's hurting him, and nobody's really talking about.
He's another one. He was good for that also. So they all have to get back into the fold.
Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell, their percentages are way down, and their free throw attempts are way down.
That was a part of their game for a while. They grew accustomed to getting that, so they got used to using that move. And now you got to lay off of that. I feel like in playoffs they'll maybe be a little more lenient to it. Maybe I'm not sure. You might be right. I'm just saying maybe they'll give in a little bit because these are the stars. But during the regular season, they'll say we want to get you used to playing this way, and then we'll kind of bring it more back to the middle come playoff time. I could be wrong, but
nah, they're not gonna do that.
Nah. So a couple of things I want to touch on, and then I'll pass it to Seppi. So I can't really feel sorry for Harden. And again, I know you guys aren't asking me to feel sorry for Harden, but Steph kind of figured it out. Like, in the preseason, he did that and they didn't call it. And he was like, all right, I'm not going to, this coming into the season, I'm not really going to get that. If this is how they plan on, like, calling the games. And he kind of, like, adjusted. So I think, like I said, the stars who have relied on that are going through an adjustment period in the NBA, and Harden will eventually figure it out because to Malcolm's point, like he's too good of a player not to at this stage, or if he doesn't, then the fraud allegations are just. All right, if he goes the entire season averaging something like 15, 8, and 5, then
they will hook him.
Knock on wood, boy. What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So he has to figure it out, or else the Nets. I don't even know if they're going to get past the first round if Harden is that with no Kyrie. So with that.
Yeah, you praying for him because man.
And
crazy.
The same thing I wanted to touch on. I know you guys talked about, like Donovan Mitchell and all that. How, and this is something I was going to segue into, like, do you think the league is going to be in good hands? It's a two-part question. Do you think the league is going to be in good hands, within the next couple of years when, like, the LeBrons, KD's getting old, so on and so forth, the passing of the guard, and who do you think is going to be, because right now we think it's Giannis time because of how the Nets are looking without Kyrie and such, to represent the East and whatnot because they're the favorite. But who do you think is going to be the face of the NBA within the next 5 years? Is it going to be Giannis? Is it going to be Luka, Tatum? Which way are you guys leaning?
Right. I mean, I think right now it's on Giannis to decide that, because if he goes back to back this year, if you go back to back while KD's still here, super team. LeBron is what some people would say super team. So you managed to do that with the Suns. The Suns are a strong competitor, and you managed to still pull it out, having to beat probably one of them in the finals, and probably having to go through KD and the Nets again this year in the playoffs, or maybe the Sixers. I mean, he's got a strong case for being the face.
Or the Heat.
Or the Heat, absolutely. The Heat. I mean, they're not going to get talked about immediately, because the general consensus is the Sixers and Nets based on the rosters, admittedly. But the Heat are there based on their roster also. So over time, during the course of the season, as their record increases, and Jimmy Butler played great yesterday, by the way, but over the course of time, I'm not just saying that just because you're on my fantasy team, I'm just saying that in general. But over the course of the time, when they get better as far as their record, people will get to see them play together and see how they work and understand, like, yeah, you have to consider them in the top three also, along with the Bucks and the Nets and the Sixers. I think they might take over the Sixers, because, you know, you're not going to have Ben Simmons there for some of the defense, but, you know.
Well, hold on, Carter. You were saying...
Yeah, so it was a two-part question. So, and then I'm gonna ask the question again, and I want to respond to something Jamal said. But the question was, within the next 5 years,
that's
the passing of the old guard, do you think the league is going to be in a good place? Not necessarily just rating-wise, but as a product, because you know how when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird rivalry kind of revived interest in the NBA, and Jordan just took it to the next level. So who do you think, you know, can elevate to that status with, you know, LeBron's no longer going to be the face of the league. KD, you know, he's entering the waning years of his prime, or whatever the case may be. Who do you think is the league going to be in a same, worse, or an even better place for the next 5 years? And who do you think is going to take the mantle? And then that was the question. And Jamal, in regards to what you were saying about the rosters of the Sixers and the Nets, I disagree. I think the Heat has the best roster in the Heat right now without the Sixers and Nets being at full strength. I think it's the Heat right now that has the best roster in the Heat.
That's fair. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that. But I'm saying, like, people aren't necessarily talking about them based on the fact that last year, this was the triumvirate that people were talking about. It was Bucks, Nets, Sixers.
No. I get that. I get that. But I'm saying currently, I think it's, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, that was the question. What do you have?
I'll go ahead. I'll make it real quick.
Yep.
I think the league is going to be in a good place. I think the league will continue to expand overseas. As long as they don't get into no beef with China over political reasons. Like, the Chinese are going to continue watching. And, I mean, you got a lot of young players. If Zion stays healthy, you got Zion, you got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Luka Doncic, Trae Young. How old is Jokic?
He's like 28, 27?
Nah.
He's young. He's way younger than that. He's like 25.
That's 26. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so look,
26.
he already MVP. So, like, I mean, if you want to count Ben Simmons as well. So you got them still, like, and then you got LeBron. He'll be gone by then. Well, actually, I don't even know. I'm talking about LeBron gonna be gonna play. If LeBron played another 5 years, he might. He got it, son. He got it.
He might. He might.
He might.
It's likely that he will be.
And then you got the young guard coming in, like LaMelo, Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs,
Anthony
Edwards, all of these players. Well, we ain't seen him yet.
Oh, we saw him.
Yeah. But, like, I think the league will be good, and I think it'll be fun to see, because these are players that were around when the older players. These are players that I grew up watching, and I was still in high school, and some of them players were still getting drafted, like Steph, Harden. They on their way out as well. Like, Steph is what, 33?
No, 30.
34. I think.
He's older than 33.
But
yeah, I guess
you're
up there.
You're up there. So it'll be fun to be like now considered an old head now on some fake like. All right, now I got to really pay attention to who's coming in because before it was like second nature. Now that'll be fun to see that. So I think the league will be in good places.
Okay, Pepe, what do you think? Real quick.
It's tricky because I guess just looking at the viewership from like 2016 till now, like it's going down, at a really alarming rate. Like 32%. So I don't know. I mean, to us, I think because we're obviously more than just a casual sports fan, it's going to seem that the league's going to be in good hands. But to me, I think it's kind of losing its touch a little bit. And I think the NBA needs to have that marquee player again. Like, I mean, you have like LeBron James, but like when LeBron's, not in the finals, you know what I mean? Like the viewership is just horrible. It's like under 10 million. So it's just like the NBA just has to focus on a player to make him like the superstar, like like the Magic Johnson. Like, yeah. So I'm interested to see who they're gonna make it. I don't think it's Giannis. He doesn't have that, I mean, he's a nice guy, but he's not like, I don't think he has that ultra charismatic feel to him that I could trust him with that. So, and like with Luka, like I don't really get a sense of Luka really. Maybe Trae Young.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much.
But ultimately, it just depends really. Like who's gonna be that next charismatic dude? You're hoping it's Zion, but can he still healthy? Like, So, for me, it's a question mark. I think to us, like, or like the people who've been watching basketball for a long period of time, it seems like it's gonna be in good hands, but I don't think it'll be at the level where I think it could be.
Okay, that's fair. And Jamal, wait, did you go?
Jamal went.
Yeah.
Jamal went.
Yeah, so I'm a big Jason. I'll go in with this. So I'm a big Jason Tatum fan. I still think he has a couple like levels to get to be, in that conversation of
best player in the world.
Yeah, but to me, like the intangibles are there. He just has to be able to, be more consistent and on a nightly basis and carrying the team. But like I said, the league, it's good. Like just to end it with this, the finals was refreshing because we had two teams. Well, kind of unexpected. But it was fresh blood, and it felt fresh. It felt like, okay.
It was enjoyable.
Exactly. Is Chris Paul going to get his first ring? Or is, Giannis going to break through? And Giannis' resume is looking impeccable. He has a ring, Defensive Player of the Year, and 2 MVPs, all before 26.
25, 26?
Yeah, all before. I think it's,
how old is he?
Did it before LeBron.
Yeah, 26, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jordan too.
Did it before LeBron.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why his storyline would be easy. In addition to the fact that he's an international player technically, so
yeah, it brings people.
He's an easy sell. It's all about marketing.
Yep. So, but that was, I don't know what episode was. I think that was episode 6. But thank you for tuning in again. Like, comment, subscribe.